may very well have some food sensitivity, and they present in all type of ways. It's not just your stomach hurts. It could be headaches. It could be skin irritations. It can be mood swings. It could be weight gain, and obviously the gut issues, bloating, constipation, abdominal pain, ADHD. Like it affects so much. Mm-hmm. And so I took everything out, and I was like, well, I'm going to put these tomatoes back because I know it's not these tomatoes. And lo and behold, I ate the tomatoes. And when you eat, you don't combine, like you're not going to have mac and cheese because that's gluten and dairy. So you would only eat the dairy, or you only eat the gluten. So it takes time and it takes a commitment, but you put it back and then you wait a few days and you look and you see, how did I sleep? How did I feel? How was my mental clarity? All the things. But inflammation at the end of the day is the root cause of disease, and the food that we eat are a big cause of this inflammation, even if it just ultimately is raising our blood sugar. Mm-hmm. But for me, when I put these tomatoes back, the next day I woke up, I literally felt like a Mack truck had hit me. I couldn't hardly get out of bed. Every joint in my body hurt. I had the worst. I was having a lot of headaches and I couldn't figure out why. And it was the tomatoes. And I was like, are you kidding me? I was so hurt.
I believe it.
So hurt. I was like, oh, not the tomatoes. I mean, I love bruschetta. I love it all.
Me too.
And it just really, it just informed me so much. And so I put every patient on that. I tell them, I know it's hard. I know we're very attached to food, but so much of the food we're attached to is just that it's not our friend. Your food, certain foods are just not your friends. And as we get older, our gut becomes more sensitive because we get what's called leaky gut. We get more gap junctions. So the food that's initially meant to just go through our body, our gut is supposed to be a cylinder where the food and just the nutrients are extracted. But once we get leaky gut, there's like openings. And so then more food can actually go into our bloodstream. Mm-hmm. And so we're having reactions to that food based on the integrity of our gut. Yeah. So leaky gut, I would definitely look that up. Yeah. I didn't go into it in a lot of detail in the book, but it's a thing. It's actually just really being recognized now more in conventional circles, which I'm happy to see, but this has been, we've been talking about it for decades. Yeah. But basically inflammation is the root cause of disease. And so once you are figuring out foods that are inflammatory, so any animal product food, anything that's processed, sugar, like all of those things are inflammatory. And so you really want to focus on an anti-inflammatory diet. So those are things like avocados and wild caught fish and walnuts and almonds and things that are basically high in omega-3 fatty acids, because what those are going to do is increase your HDL, your good fat, right? Yes. And your good fat is what is really cardioprotective. And so your inflammatory foods are going to increase your bad cholesterol. I said your good fat, your good cholesterol, your HDL. Yeah. But you want to increase that. That's good. And so your food is just a huge part of it. And so if you're going to start anywhere, you want to start with your gut. Look at the food elimination diet. If anybody just, they can send me a request, even through Instagram or whatever, I can send you the link. Full Scripts actually has a wonderful guide. That's the guide that I give to all my patients. I just send them that link. And I just tell them, you can't cheat on it. You're not cheating anybody, but you literally take all that food out. We are really addicted to food, and you have no idea how. It's just trying to have these conversations with patients. People they almost get indignant about taking away their food. Like, what do you mean? I can't eat what? Like, and it's like, yeah, but just trust me, it's one of the best things you could ever do. And you'll feel so much better. Now, trust me, I say all this, but don't get it wrong. I just was at Eddie V's last night eating me some crab meat fried rice and some calamari, and I do all the things. So I'm not by any means, I do it all. But I'm at least aware
Yes.
And I know I don't even feel my best right now because I know I'm eating things that really don't serve me, but at least I know.
Yeah.
And you can't know until you just take it out and so you can just see how good you can feel.
Yes.
And that doesn't mean it's going to be easy going forward, because I did this 20 years ago and I still have never been able to do it completely again. Not maybe once or twice, but it's hard. It's not easy. It's a commitment.
And, it's interesting. Thank you for walking through inflammation and leaky gut and all of these terms that we've heard a lot about. And of course, people can look them up, but you focus a lot on food, inflammation, and the gut, what the gut's got to do with it. And that's in chapter 6 for folks who have the book or who plan to purchase it. And I was just amazed at how thorough, and in depth you went, because I understand the importance. I had an issue with a gastric issue recently. And when they told me, said, do you drink coffee? And look, I knew this, do you drink coffee or caffeine? I was like, yeah, well, guess what? There are things you need to eliminate. And you mentioned tomatoes. You need to, eliminate that. I garden as well. And, I'm looking outside right now and I have my little red cups of, of tomatoes.
Well, I'm not saying that you have to, because they may be fine for you. For some people, they're great. And
no, they're not good for me.
Oh, okay. Well, if they're not good, they're not good. Just know that. But the caffeine in particular, that's the one thing I tell people is it's generally not the caffeine. It's what you're putting in the caffeine. It's what you put in your Starbucks coffee. Okay. It's not the coffee as much. So when I get pushed back and they're like, oh, what? You want me to not drink my coffee?
I know.
I'm like, okay, you can have your coffee, but you're going to have to put unsweetened almond milk in it or oat milk or whatever. But it can't be dairy and it can't be sugar. Right. And you're just going to have to get a new taste bud there for a minute if you need the caffeine, or just, I just take some Excedrin and deal with, I have to get it to get away from the headaches that I was going to get. That's what I did. I just said, well, I'll just take Excedrin for a week until this caffeine withdrawal goes away.